Hello viewers, good to have you today on this channel. Today we have government, and in this government I want to introduce you to the subject. I want to give you the rudiments, the elementary aspect of government. I want to give you the foundation of government, particularly for those of you that are writing exam few days to come. This will help you both in objective and essay question for your WAEC and for NECO. Get along with me. You also get a pen and a paper to write. It's very important. Okay? So when we say government, government as a subject can be classified into three. We have part A, part B, and part C. The part A government is elementary government. That is the introduction to the subject. These are what you're expected to have done in your basic year, your year 1, called SS1, senior secondary school 1. Okay? We start from definition of government to the basic concepts, to basic principles, and then you take that to handling with public administration, where you do the local government, the civil service, and of course the public corporation. Okay? That's elementary government. Now, when we say Part B can be subdivided into two. We have the pre-colonial administration and we have the colonial administration. Pre-colonial means before 1861. That's before the coming of the colonial master to this space called Nigeria. So you need to learn what they call ATS, African Traditional System, where you discuss the basic ethnic groups in Nigeria, the three major ones, right? And then when you are done with that, you come to colonialism, the coming of the masters. And from the WAEC syllabus, you are asked to discuss both French and British, because they're the major masters in this West Africa. Remember, your WAEC is West African examination. Okay? And as you are doing that, you will discuss what they call constitutional development. How constitution evolved from 1922 up to the very last one, 1999. You had 5 pre-independence and you have 5 post-independence. You're expected to examine each one of them. The author, the title, and of course the compositions of each of these constitutions. That's what we call constitutionalism. As you're doing this also, you do what we call nationalism, which is the struggle against colonialism, the fight for freedom, the struggle for political independence, still along the Part B corridor. And as you are closing up the Part B corridor, you close it up with what they call evolution of political party. How political party evolved, starting from 1923 NNDP about calling and up to date. Okay? And then we are expected to go to Part C. Your Part C is Nigeria and the world. Nigeria and the world. Which means you look at Nigeria and its foreign relation. Here we have what they call foreign policy, how Nigeria relates to other countries, alright? And then you talk about the international organizations. ECOWAS, OAU, NATAN, AU, United Nations Organization, UNO, Commonwealth of Nations, Non-Aligned Nation, and the rest. You're supposed to examine all these right under Part C. So what have I just done? I've just summarized your 3 years scheme of work or syllabus of WAEC and NECO. That's what I just done within 10 minutes. I've summarized your syllabus for WAEC, for NECO, for PCE, and for GCE, as well as LATEC. Okay? So, today I will introduce you to the subject. This one should take you your first year, SS1. This will take you your second year, SS2. And this will take you the last term, the very first term of your SS3. Unfortunately, many of the schools don't get to cross all this. It's not easy, but it's achievable. Okay? So what I'm doing here today is to start to introduce you to the elementary. Or let me tell you this, another secret. Now, as you prepare for WAEC exam, for your WAEC exam or NECO exam, you know, you have section A and section B. The section A, or they call it paper 1, paper 2, you know the name, paper 1, paper 2, anything they call it. Okay? In that paper 1, it is OBJ. For WAEC, it's 50, for NECO, it's 60. Alright? Then for your paper 2, it is your essay, or you call it theory. And like what they do, we have 10 questions divided into 2 sections, section A and section B for paper 2. Okay? For section A, you have 5 questions. For section B, you also have 5 questions. Altogether, 10. Okay? So by the requirement of WAEC, you are expected to answer 2 questions here, 2 questions here, altogether 4 questions, if they have not changed their instruction. But that's what they are doing as at the PC they did 2 months ago in February. Okay? So, these 5 questions, let me start with OBJ. This OBJ, either for WAEC or NECO or PCE, majority of the questions, let me say about 70% of that questions comes from part A, here, elementary government. Majority of them comes from elementary government. That's the secret I'm giving to you. Then you have about 20% coming from where? From part B. And you have 10% coming from what? Part C, here, for the OBJ. Okay? Now for the essay, these 5 questions comes from part A, here, elementary government. Okay? And the remaining 5 questions is shared between part B and C. Okay? In part B, they can give you 2, part C, they can give you 2, and they can give you one what they call current affairs. Current affairs, the current issues in the world. And as a government student, you expect to know your current affairs, current events. Now US is at war with Iran and Israel, just as that of Russia and Ukraine was underground. Okay, so these are current affairs. So these are what you are expected to know. Now, you can know your area of concentration. You can agree with me that for your area of concentration, if you are very good, mark my words, very good in part A, and you have a little knowledge, average, of part B, here, average, and here, just a little, of part C, you are sure to make a very good grade, even at B. Okay? Very well. So, your emphasis is for you to understand the foundation of government, the elementary government, the introduction to government, the concepts, and the principles. When you know them, they will help you a lot to understand whatever happened in B, and of course, in C. Okay? So I've just given you the structure of your exam. If you're writing WAEC, NECO, GCE, GCE, or NAPTEC, I'm just giving you the structure and the area of concentration. So I was advise you to build yourself up very well on elementary government, while you also try to learn about B and of course of C. Okay? So today I am taking you down to elementary government. Elementary government. Okay? Elementary government. Okay. Now, government is everywhere. As long as you have 2 or more persons, there's likelihood of a government. In your home or family, we have a government. You have the father, the mother, the children, a government has been established. There's a president in the house. There's an executive in the house. There's a legislature in the house. Okay. In a school system, there's a government where you have the head of schools, either it's called director or principal, whatever it's called. Okay? That's the government. You have the deputies, then you have other periphery of offices. And then you have the teachers, you have the students, there's a government. In an organization, whether business or whatever, there is government. Either from the chairman, from the board, from the managing director, or the general manager, whatever you call it. There is a government. As long as you have 2 or more people, government is instituted. Even in your church and your mosque, there is government. So, the point now is, what is government? The one we are learning. All these are forms of government. They are prototype. All these are prototype government. Prototype of government. So what is government itself? The concept of government can be interpreted in 3 ways. Please follow me and mark my words. There are 3 ways you can interpret the concept government. 1, you can interpret government as an institution of the state. 2, you can interpret government as an act of governing. Art of governing. Art of governing. Okay? Three, you can also interpret government as an academic field of study. So when we say institution of a state, government as an institution of a state is given the responsibility of making, enforcing, and interpreting laws in the state. The government as an institution is given the responsibility of making, of enforcing, and interpreting laws in a given state. So the process of lawmaking, the process of enforcing the laws that are made, and the process of adjudicating, interpreting, defining, explaining, interpreting, and application of the laws on those that break it. These are all what you call government as an institution of a state. And only government has these responsibilities. Only government as an institution of a state. Okay? Very well. You know, where many other institutions mentioned earlier, none of these institutions can perform this duty when it comes to a state matter. They are only being done at their respective level. They are prototype of government. So when we say government as an act, it means government is a process of carrying out the daily activities of government. It is a way of running the affairs of government. Can you see that? It involves all the process and protocols of running the states, the daily administration of the state. That's why it's an act of government. It's a process of day-to-day affairs, administrations of government, of the states. And when we say government as an African academic field of study, we are saying that government is a subject or is a cause. Government is a subject or is a cause. A cause that's centered on political processes, political structures, and political administration. You can see everything about government is politics, political. And that is why when you study government in university, it is known as what? Political science. An aspect of it is public administration. Okay? So, government as a subject or as a cause does not discuss logic as they do in mathematics, does not discuss the figure of speech as they do in English, and has nothing to do with the digestive system as they do what in biology, has nothing to do with chemicals as they do in chemistry, has nothing to do with those laws in physics, but has to do with understanding political process, political structures, political systems, political administration. That is the focus of government as an academic field of study. It's what to study, it's what to learn. I think everybody should learn government, if you ask me, irrespective of your categorization, whether you're in science, whether you're in art, whether you're in commercial, whether you're in social science. Everybody needs to have the understanding of what government is. Because lately, government seems to be involved in every aspect of human life. And the decision made by government is affecting all and sundry. And anyone could be appointed to the position in government. So why not we do government? Why not we learn it? So I'll not be a novice when you're appointed to office. That's just by the way. So this is government. It has to do with institution of the state. It's an act of governance, the process of governing. The word governing means ruling, process of ruling people, daily administration, daily management of the state. It is an academic field of study, a subject, a course that teaches, that focuses on political processes, political structures, political systems. Okay? So, this is when you are asked to explain the concept of government. Explain the concept of government. Please state this thing, and you are sure of a complete score. But it is just ordinary what is government. Define the term government. Just tell them government is an institution of the state responsible for making, enforcing, and interpreting laws in the state, in that state. you are good to go. But if you are asked to explain the concept, please take care of these 3 concepts. Is that taken? Very well. So, let's make progress. Now that we know the difference between define government, what is government, and explain government. This one is just simple definition, while this one is what explain the concept itself, using these 3 concepts. Okay? Good. I think I can claim this now. This is expo for you. I've just given you the structure of your exam, the area of concentration for your exam. That's what I just gave you. Okay. So, let's make progress trying to understand this subject, government. The next thing you need to know is, why do we study government? You need to know that. And I think you should find out yourself. Why do we study government? Why must you study this subject? Why is it important? I just mentioned earlier that for me, I expect everybody to learn government irrespective of your course or your department in school, whether you're science, you're art, or commercial science. You should have an idea of what governing, what ruling people is, whether you're going to be part of government in future or not. So why do we study government? Please, I'm giving you that as a take home. Settle down and study it yourself. Another thing you need to know is functions or duties of government. I think there was a question I saw, whether NECO or WAEC, I can't remember. The question stated, what are the duties of a good government? What are the duties of a good government? In other words, what are the expectations that people expect from a good government? It's simply asking functions, duties, responsibilities, roles of government. Whether it's good or bad, what we expect government to do, you know. You know that the primary function of a government is to make laws, and not just make that laws, is to enforce the laws, and then protect the lives and property of the people. Security. Once a government fails in this aspect, well, I can't tell. We are likely going to have a chaos, confusion, and breakdown of laws and order. So many of them, just seek them out. So you are doing this one, you are doing this two, I've already given some aspects. And 3, but you know, when you learn government will make you to understand the system being operating in your country. Government, when you study government, it will help you to understand your rights. When you study government, it will teach you your duties as you enjoy right as a citizen, and obligations you perform to the state. All these are learned when we study government. So why do we study government? Reasons for studying government, importance of government. We are saying the same thing in number 1. Duties of government, functions of government, roles of government, responsibilities of a good government. That's number 2. Then we have what we call the features or the characteristics of government, or the elements of government. In other words, when you say features, what distinguishes government as an institution from other institutions? Huh? What distinguishes government as an institution from other institutions? Right? That's what the feature is talking about. What do you think? It is only government that has what they call political power. No any other institution has this political power. Because that's the only thing you need to control the people. Right? government, as also part of its elements, has what they call sovereignty. Though that sovereignty does not belong to the government, it belongs to the state. The government uses it. And also what they call legitimacy, which is recognition the people legitimacy. Recognition the people gives to the government. This same government has what they call personnel. These are all elements, characteristics of government. Personnel. These are a group of people that are appointed to work for government. Whether a civil servant or public servant. There are two different things. A civil servant is different from public servant. All civil servants are public servants. But all public servants are not civil servants. You're supposed to do that under public administration, which is the last aspect of Part A, as explained to you earlier in your scheme. So we're still in the foundation. Okay. So you can get more for yourself. So these are your take home. So your take home. I've given you some take home. I've given you some aspect of it you can get more by yourself. Why do we study government? Same thing as what? Reasons for government, importance of government. I'm giving you all these things because your examiner can use any of the words. Okay. I've given you functions, duties, responsibilities of government. If they say a good government, that good is just an adjective to complicate your matter. Of a government is the sentence of a good government. Because all government is expected to be good. But if it's bad, then it's left for itself and for you to judge. So, then we're going to tell on the features, the elements, the characteristics of a government, what distinguish government from other institutions. Good. Remember, the family is an institution, your school, your church are all institutions. But what distinguishes government as an institution from those other institutions is an element, the characteristics. Good. I think I've done justice to introducing you to the meaning and the scope of government. What I've just done. The meaning and the scope of government. You can check up your syllabus. That's what is there. Whether WAEC, whether NECO, GCE, GCE, NAMTEC, JAM. Meaning and scope of government. That's what I'm just doing with you. And in case you have any questions around this, please do well to reach out to us. And we're going to get back to you. Okay? Very well. I hope I still have some time so I can go a bit further, still on the foundation of this subject. Are you good to go? Let's go.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the video you just watched. To see more content as that, preparing you for your upcoming exam, make sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on notification. Also, remember that you can use the comment section to send us your questions or your inquiries, and we are happy to take them. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.